Hi, I'm Jill Thompson, and you're watching Mediaplex News Now. Welcome to our very first live newscast. In our top story, Chris Richards takes us to the 35th annual Detroit Free Press Marathon, where about 24,000 participants pounded the pavement.
Canada-US relations were better than ever as thousands of Canadian and American runners braved the brisk autumn air Sunday, October 21st, as they gathered for the 35th annual Detroit Free Press Talmar Bank Marathon. Nearly 24,000 runners, walkers, wheelers, and hand cyclists came out to participate in the 42.2-kilometer international event. The annual marathon's route takes runners from Detroit to Canada over the Ambassador Bridge and back through to the States via the tunnel. Dozens of friends, families, and Windsor residents lined the streets to show their support to the scores of participants running by. Many stood with signs or made noise, while some offered water and orange slices to passing runners. Supporter Martina Ouellette and friends gathered by the Ambassador Bridge to cheer on their friends and to offer encouragement to other runners.
I have about 4 people running the full. I love cheering. I get more excited than they do. I do. It's awesome.
Richard Dawes, a St.Clair College student and health enthusiast, ran as part of a relay team and says running in a marathon is definitely something to experience.
I think it was a great experience. I highly recommend it. It was really, I wasn't that excited for it yet because I didn't know what to expect, but once race day came, there was thousands of people, seeing everybody all pumped up and excited to go, and all the camaraderie and having your friends there who you've been training with, that really added to the event. And also running in a pack, I thought that was pretty crazy because when you run by yourself, you're just going against your own endurance, but when you run in a pack, you're like, oh, I want to pass that person, I want to pass that person. So that's what kept me going.
The fastest time in this weekend's marathon was 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 26 seconds. Next year's marathon is scheduled for October 20th. Reporting for Mediaplex News Now, I'm Chris Richards.
Before the big race, participants gathered at the Cobo Center to register and pick up any last-minute necessities for the race. Rick Dawes reports.
Friday night, hundreds gathered at Cobo Center for the Pre-Marathon Expo. Here, participants picked up their race packages and had a chance to browse over 90 vendors and listen to mini-seminars. Everyone running on Sunday had to go to their event-specific tables and collect their race bib, event shirt, and information packets. Dave Philbrick is a licensed athletic trainer at the Detroit Medical Center. Philbrick and his associates were assessing runners' feet.
The point of the expo is to register, first of all, and then go through and look at different expo exhibits. So you might be looking for some new clothes, or you might be looking for some new nutrition or energy drinks or different exercises. And that's what I'm doing today. I am actually going through strengthening exercises to improve your muscles and your mechanics, to make you run faster and prevent injuries.
The aisle way through Cobo was a sea of people checking out what vendors had to offer. First-time Free Press runner Jessica Jones was inspired to join by her friend Jade.
It's really exciting. I'm actually surprised to see so many vendors here today. I mean, anything from the food that you're putting in your body to the clothes you're going to be wearing. It's really compiling everything that you can hope to see here.
Jones said she could feel a buzz in the air.
I think a lot of people are excited. You know, the energy is really high. People are, been training for a long time, and now they're all ready to see the fulfillment from all their hard work. So I think it's a lot of excitement.
In the middle of the Expo Center was a stage for demonstrations. Speakers taught exercises like Zumba to the audience or talked about stretching using sports bands.
It doesn't have room to contract and be strong either.
Registered, informed, and stocked up on the latest gear, all that's left for participants to do now is rest. At Cobo Hall, this is Rick Dawes for Mediaplex News Now.
It seems that gas prices are going down. James Zimmerman reports on this welcome trend.
Windsor is seeing relief at the pumps this week. Gas prices have dipped as low as $1.03 per litre in most of Ontario, while most gas bars in Windsor sit tight at $1.21. Experts say the price drop is mainly due to seasonal reasons. Because of the cold weather Windsor is expecting, demand has gone down. Gas station attendant Douglas Millen said that business has definitely picked up.
We've definitely seen a marked increase in the amount of gas people are buying per purchase, and people are generally happier about it.
The sudden drop in gas prices in Windsor is a much welcome change after a report was released that gas prices are amongst the highest in the province. According to gas price aggregator GasBuddy.com, on average, Windsor gas prices are 25 cents higher than in Toronto. For Mediaplex News Now, I'm James Zimmerman.
Well, it's nice and warm in the studio, but I'm not sure that Dana Poisson can say the same. Let's head outside and check out the weather.
Thanks, Jill. Well, it sure is a chilly one out here with this rain. Did you know that more than 1 million people were ordered to evacuate as Hurricane Sandy battered the East Coast? Some predicted the economic losses to reach up to $20 billion. Now, let's check out the forecast for Windsor tonight. It's going to be cloudy with showers with a high of 6 and a low of 1 degree Celsius. Tomorrow, rain with a high of 8 and a low of 5. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 8 and a low of 5. And Friday, partly cloudy with a high of 7 and a low of 3 degrees. By the way, did you know that St.Clair College is having their open house Saturday, November 24th? All campuses will be open from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This event will give prospective students an opportunity to come and check out our programs, meet the faculty, and tour our labs, classrooms, and other facilities. I'm Dana Poisson. Now let's go back inside to that cozy studio, Jill.
Ted Farron is a businessman and a community activist. Mom Duel Shami gets a chance and sit down and talk with him in this week's 5 Minutes With.
Hi, I'm Mom Duel Shami, and today we're spending 5 minutes with Ted Farron. Hi, Ted.
Good morning.
So you own a butcher shop, and a major story recently was the beef recall by XL Foods. Did that recall affect your business in any way?
It has really affected our business, but in a positive way. We've been with the Ontario Corn-Fed Beef Program now for over 10 years. And we advertise that we just buy local. So all our pork, lamb, veal, chicken, and beef all come locally. And being on the Ontario Corn-Fed Program and people knowing that, they're now shopping at my store. So it's really affected us in a very positive way. I don't like to be getting business that way, but people know they can buy with confidence from our store.
Now, as someone who's been a successful entrepreneur for the last 30 years, what is the most important lesson that you've learned?
Well, I learned to back up what you say. If you promise something to a customer, do it. Have your hours so they know what your hours are. Keep your store nice and clean. When I was a young boy and I started working at Loblaws, they taught me that your store isn't clean until it's clean from the sidewalk to the alley. And their motto was cleanliness is next to godliness. So what I've tried to do over these years is live up to those things. The store's sparkling clean, we're open on time, everybody has a big smile, and sell quality products.
And you're chair on the board of governors, at St.Clair College. What do you do?
Well, I lead the board. I chair the board. I bring different topics to the board to be discussed, and then we vote on them. It's an important position. I'm very honored to have that position. I'm enjoying it very, very much.
Okay. And you're very involved with the community. Can I ask why?
Because it's my hometown. I've raised 6 children here in this town. I love this town. It's been very, very good to me. When I see something that I think I can help with, I jump in and give my hand.
Okay. Now, looking back at all the committees and organizations that you've been a part of, what was your favorite experience and why?
I think my favorite one was bringing a medical school here to Windsor. In about 1999, Dwight Duncan got a hold of myself, Gary Parent from the union, and Dr. Alan Hyman from medical. And he put the 3 of us together to form a leadership for a committee to bring a medical school here. It took us 2 years to do it. I was chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce at the time, and they asked me to stay on a second year. And I was only one of 3 people in their 130-year history that was asked to stay on a second term. So I stayed on 2 years. Together, the 3 of us, we went to London, we went to Hamilton, we spoke in Hamilton to the George Committee. And at the time when we were working on the medical school, although Dwight Duncan put us together to get this, the Conservative government was in power, not the Liberals. Mm-hmm. So we had to do everything behind the scenes. So Dwight didn't get any glory out of it. It all had to be glory from the Conservatives. So we learned a little politics in doing this. When we traveled to Queen's Park, we went with the Conservatives there to do it. It took a lot of convincing on our part to bring a medical school here, but we finally did it. Tony Clement and I worked very, very closely. He was the Minister of Health for Ontario at the time. He didn't realize what a need we had in Windsor for a medical school. He didn't realize that 3 out of 4 families didn't have a doctor and couldn't find a doctor. he didn't realize that we are losing people coming here, especially professionals that wanted to settle here. Once they found out they couldn't get a doctor, they'd go somewhere else. He didn't realize that. Mike Harris didn't realize that. And once they did, it changed the whole tide on how they thought about Windsor having a medical school. And it was shortly after that that Tony Clement took me aside at the Caboto Club. I was the first one he told, and he said, "Ted, you're getting your medical school." And I said, when? I was so excited. And he said, "We don't know yet because we want to do it right, but it's coming, you're getting it." So I just embraced him, and I felt so good that it's almost like winning a big fight, we're the champions.
Yeah, that's great. And you were an early coach and supporter of Mary Spencer,
yes,
who recently went to the Olympics. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Mary and I've been working with Mary now for 10 years. I'm an amateur boxing coach. I used to be vice president of the Windsor Amateur Boxing Club. Mary was just a natural talent. She came to our club with absolutely no experience, and she just liked the smell of the gym and wanted to get involved, and so she started. And Mary has just been amazing. She's had 8 Canadian titles, 3 worldwide national titles. I was just with her at the Olympics, and unfortunately she didn't do too well, but we all have our days, and she's, at the day after she fought, she said to me, "I'm coming back in 4 years. I'm going to fight in Rio." So she'll be there, she'll fight again, and she'll win.
Looking forward to that. All right, my name is Mamdul Shami, and today we've been spending 5 minutes with Ted Farron.
Arts, education, and business all play a role in this year's International Film Festival. Tom Morrison has more.
You ever hear of Joe Cooper? He's a cop, a detective actually. Got a little business on the side.
What's he do?
He kills people.
Killer Joe is just one of the films which can be seen at the 8th Annual Windsor International Film Festival starting November 7th. The St.Clair Center for the Arts was host to a meeting with directors of the festival and members of the media. The scheduled films were announced, and some of them star Breaking Bad's Aaron Paul and Saturday Night Live's Andy Samberg. According to executive director Peter Cody, this year's festival was a collaboration between the arts, education, and business.
I'm just glad that the educational institutions like St.Clair College, the University of Windsor, the Greater Essex County District School Board have come together along with business and representatives from the arts in the city to make this a reality. I'm happy about that. Everybody's included, including you.
That was good. This year, the festival is opening a day earlier to make up for the closing of the Palace Cinema. All movies will be screened at the Capitol in their 3 screening rooms. The festival will close November 11th with a Canadian film called Still. For Mediaplex News Now, I'm Tom Morrison.
It was a film festival challenge where participants had 48 hours to produce a short film. Marissa de Bordelli takes us there.
It's one of the greatest challenges a beginning filmmaker can face. The 48-hour Flickfest ran during the weekend of October 19th to the 21st from the St.Clair College Center for the Arts. Eric Boucher helps with the organizing and marketing for the 48-hour Flickfest.
So the 48-hour Flickfest is a film festival challenge, which challenges the filmmakers. They have 48 hours to write, shoot, and edit a short film. Now the films can be anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes. We give them a line of dialogue, a prop, and a theme. So last year, a theme was the meaning of life, the prop was a flashlight, and the line of dialogue was negative, negative, negative. So you have, and those elements, those are required elements that you have to use in the film. Kind of, I guess, for more purposes in terms of creativity, but then also so we know that you made the film in the past 48 hours.
Approximately 25 teams registered for the Flickfest this year, up from 15 teams last year. Teams win a cash prize for Best Picture, as well as awards for Best Director, Best Cinematographer, and Best Sound or Music. Megan Roberts, 22, is a French and Communications student at the University of Windsor. This is her first year entering the Flickfest, and she is filling the role of director, editor, and cinematographer.
My friends and I have been making movies for a little few small ones in high school, but we're about ready to do something serious and fun and something we can add to our portfolio in the future. So.
The short films will be premiered on Tuesday, November 6th at the Capitol Theatre. This is Marissa de Bordelli reporting for Mediaplex News Now.